I'm Joanna Marsh, and I'm an artist, writer, dancer, former librarian and archivist, now stay-at-home mom. And ever since I was little, I've had an innate impulse to express myself through whatever medium was available to me at the time, and painting was one of the earliest that I can remember. I grew up helping my mom paint murals and have sold paintings off and on throughout my adult life. But the last 2 years have been by far the most productive in my painting life. Well, my interests are very eclectic. I'm interested in most everything, but I think a common thread that I see over and over again is the creative process itself and those kind of universal elements that translate, whether it's painting, writing, dance. And over the years, I've tried to cultivate a good mindset for creating, and that's, I think, what I'm most passionate about is cultivating that mindset and also helping others just approach art without fear and in a playful, exploratory kind of mood. And I know from experience that that really helps me, and that's why I've been able to be more productive lately, because the current series I've been working on, I just was very intentional about approaching each piece with a playful attitude, and if things go wrong, not beating myself up about that. So right now I work almost exclusively in acrylic, and that's partly for practical reasons because of the color and texture I can achieve in a short amount of time rather than letting oil paint dry, for example. And it's also just always been one of my favorites. That kind of initial splash of color on the canvas is just like a really instant way to lift my mood and make me happy. So this exhibition is about my creative process and specifically the joy that I experienced in making these paintings. I titled the show Ethereal Play because, and I think all artists can identify with that time in the studio that feels very otherworldly, and it's a delicate balance of inviting the muse to come help you, but also not taking the work too seriously. So that's why the word play is in there, because I really wanted to approach these paintings with a playful attitude. And I'll be the first to admit these are highly decorative works. There's not a lot of meaning or messaging that you need to unpack in there, but I did experience a lot of depth and mystery in the process of making them. And I hope that at least a little bit of that is manifested in the works itself. And yeah, that's basically what the show is about. It's just enjoying the process of creating and sharing that with others. So these paintings, I hope, in their simple beauty, can help point the viewer to more sublime beauties that we experience in our lives. So the piece behind me is called Golden Hour, and it was one of my favorites to make, and not so much because of the outcome, but because of the process. It was just profoundly enjoyable. It was so much fun to do, and as I put on each layer of the foreground, it was like a surprise to me. And I remember just being really captivated by what was happening and feeling like I wasn't necessarily the one doing it. I was just there to help this painting manifest itself. So I basically started with a series of paintings that are a little more celestial looking, and that used a process of using a big fluffy brush to stipple on this texture that looks a little more like reminiscent of outer space. During that process, just kind of experimenting, using the same like stippling technique, I discovered, hey, that looks like a flower, but is a little rougher around the edges and not so literal. And it kind of just organically unfolded into this new series. So you can see my work here at Beggar's Table on August 5th and September 2nd, First Friday shows. And if you want to find out more about me and my work, you can visit joannamarsh.com, and also on Instagram at 310gem, that's 310GEM, my initials. And there I show a little bit more about the process of creating these paintings.